morning, all you dedicated snowbirds. Boy, oh boy, coming out at all this to hear a spiritual talk, that's phenomenal. That means you're devoted. And devotion goes a long way, let me tell you. I'm glad to see those of you who have braved the weather and come on. You people watching on screen, we appreciate you too, but we really appreciate those who put in a personal appearance and share their good energy with us while we're doing these services. So I invite you to do that when the weather gets a little better, maybe. Come on in. Share your body life with us as well. Okay. Well, you know the holiday seasons are coming around, and every year we have a special fundraiser that we do. People in the church here order a wreath, a beautiful wreath that's all decorated with Christmas, you know, the most beautiful wreaths you can possibly get. And if you want to order a wreath for yourself for this holiday coming, you have to do it today. Just go into the office and give your name, and it's a $40 donation. It goes to the church, and we appreciate that very much, and you're going to get a beautiful Christmas wreath. The other thing I want to talk to you about is choir rehearsal on Thursday. What are you doing on Thursday that you couldn't really enjoy more if you were doing it with friends while you were singing the most incredible Christmas music right here, preparing for our Christmas Eve service? So Thursday at 6 o'clock, it's 6:30. Thursday at 6:30 is rehearsal. Show up, even if you haven't got a lot of experience or no experience singing. When you get involved with the choir, you'll learn how to sing, and you'll be so lifted by doing it. So just think about it. Thursday, 6:30, show up for choir. Enjoy the experience of the coming holidays. Okay, somebody gave me a joke to tell you. I'm not quite sure I understand the essence of it, but what kind of gift should you give an enlightened person? A house. Or maybe an apartment. All right, you're going to love this talk that's coming your way. Look forward to it.
Good morning. So this is the time for a call to prayer. This is a moment where we invite you to write somebody's name down on a piece of paper that's available to you in the pews. Somebody that's having a challenge, you don't have to say what the challenge is, and you're always welcome to pray for yourself as well. And Steve Sheets, who's the head of our prayer partners, will come down the aisle and collect those names and then bring them to our beautiful prayer box over here, and they'll be prayed over in the building for 30 days here and then sent off to Silent Unity for 30 days. So we're just going to hold these people in prayer, and we're going to sing Imagine together. We thought this is a very appropriate song for this time, so join us in singing. Thank you, Steve. wonderful prayer there.
Awesome.
And now we have a chance to listen to Marcy and the Unity Band. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, good morning. My guitar did a little tumble earlier, so I just need to make sure it's in tune. I just got back from Spain. It was an incredible trip. And while I was there, I broke a toe, so I know what it's like to tumble and need to get back in tune. This is a song I wrote with my dear friend, Linda Martello-Witzet, called We Are Walking Each Other Home. And I'd love to invite you to bring someone to mind, maybe someone in the flesh right now that's living, who you are hand in hand walking with, or somebody who's gone before you. Maybe someone who's coming after you. I have a vision of all beings across all dimensions and all time, in time and out of time, connecting, breathing as one, recognizing that we're forever unfolding in God, and we are always walking each other home. drawn by the pull of love. Oh, we are walking each other home, and we're drawn by the pull of love. Sing with us. Oh, we are walking each other home, and we're drawn by the pull of love. Oh, we are walking each other home, and we're drawn by the pull of love. Thank you so much, Brandon and everybody else. Thanks so much.
My favorite of favorites. I love that song. You're amazing. I appreciate you. So good morning, everybody. That's a very appropriate song for today's talk, titled The Ultimate Shift from Fear to Love. And I came up with this talk. I'm doing some studying right now and reading some new books and coming across some different language, and I do that periodically. And I was just hearing a current of people sharing that there was a feeling in the universe and in their lives where it felt like there was a dark cloud sitting over them. And I listened to this by multiple people, down to people literally like isolating themselves for days on end and not being able to deal with the world, like not being able to even step in, like just feeling kind of frozen in the face of life right now. And it seems to be that some people are feeling that way, and some people are feeling just complete and total divine alignment. And I think it has to do with astrological signs, with what's going on right now. But I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Gay Hendricks says that the ultimate skill of conscious living is to have the hinge of consciousness so thoroughly oiled that we can shift in any moment from the contracted clench of fear to the open-handed, open-hearted embrace of love. Fear sucks the belly in, love lets it go. Fear makes a fist, love lets it go. So when people shared with me about this feeling of a dark cloud being over them, I actually resonated with that feeling. I've been feeling that for a few weeks, and I'm doing my meditations, and I'm doing everything that I can do to pull out of it, but it just seemed like everywhere I turned was some sort of a block or conflict, or just anything that was not healed in me was like being brought up in different relationships, different situations, dreams. It was just like, okay, so there's a change, there's something going on, and I found myself sitting down on my computer when I finally hit my wit's end and said, what the hell is going on in the world right now? And immediately an astrology chart came up, and I was like, all right. Because that's kind of my go-to, and I'm sure my computer knows the algorithm that I do tend to look at astrology. And I know Christians have a hard time when we speak of astrology, but if you actually study the Bible, it talks about our lives being written in the stars, honestly. It's spoken about like 4 or 6 times. And so I think even if you're a Christian or not, it doesn't really matter because we're unity. There's nothing wrong with following what our astrological signs are, and it seems like there's more of a collective growth happening more than individual signs anyways right now, but I'll just read what the current has been for the last couple weeks. Eclipse season is always a time of endings. As one door closes, another opens. But as is often the case with eclipses, the endings they bring may not have been ones we wanted. However, these supercharged lunar events have a way of dropping seemingly far-off events directly into our laps to deal with in the present. That was the thing that stood out, because I have had things I was like, I'm planning, I'll do that in a year, I'll do that in 2, and it was like, they've landed in my lap now. The stars are strongly encouraging you to evaluate the changes you have undergone and forgive yourself and others for ways in which you or they have fallen short of your goals, but more importantly, your values. Taurus and Scorpio energy reminds us that we have a shadow side. We owe it to ourselves and to others to be honest about that, but also display grace as we are experiencing that. You are not perfect, and neither are they. It's a reminder to let others be who they are going to be, who they have shown you to be, so you can be free to be who you are destined to become. And I feel like this kind of sums up the shadow, because I'm going to talk about the shadow work right now, because it seems that there's deeper and deeper needs for us to go into places that if we are going to awaken fully to a new earth, a new world, then we really, really have to heal the parts of ourselves that are unhealed. And so that's why I think as a collective, we're going through so many challenges, and yet it's all in divine order. And then so those of you that are feeling extremely blessed during this time, and it just feels like it's already all in divine order, I just want to say, God bless you, and you're lucky. Okay. Samuel Roberts wrote this: I believe that God loves the absolute whole of us, what is known and unknown to ourselves. Further, I believe that God works in the world through our complicated selves. What we practice through engaging the shadow, then, is coming home to the confidence that we are loved as we are and empowered to grow in relationship with God, self, and others. We practice embracing ourselves to this confidence by surrendering to the lifelong process of shadow work and watching for emerging beauty in ourselves and in others. And as with any spiritual practice, it is lifelong. We are always working on ourselves till the very last breath that we take on earth. I've been very privileged to be at the bedsides of people as they're passing, hearing their words of sharings. And many people get to the end of their life and are still working through their issues with their mom and dad. And they could be laying there at 100 years old, and you're like, wow, you let that trigger, that thing that came from that relationship, and you let that have such a say throughout your entire life till the very end. We are really here to heal the child wound, that first relationship wound, all of those things, so that we may live freely and to fly. And during periods like this, because we had 2 eclipses and 2 full moons, this was an incredible moon that we had last night. And we should all be feeling a little bit of a sense of relief today, but it was kind of just growing, the intensity. And I felt it about 4 this morning. I could not sleep for my life last night. And then at 4 in the morning, all of a sudden, just this love embraced my being. And I had called for it because I talked to my ancestors and my spirit guides and my crossed over best friend and my child that I've lost. And I'm using the Samhain, right, that's going to happen this Tuesday, where the veil is very thin for us right now. I know this is going to be kind of an esoteric talk, but this is the time of year to have these type of talks. When you realize that there's so much more going on in this spiritual life, there's so much more than this human experience. And we utilize the seasons and we participate in it in a conscious way as far as the environment changing right now. Now we're going into, obviously, fall, winter. And different cycles are about different growth, different times of letting go, times to plant seeds, time to let them sow. This one is about being in tune with our intuition, heightening our highest self and listening from a higher perspective. And listening for our ancestors, listening for the healing of the karmic things that we came here for and with, right? And so when we're feeling lost during these times, this is a time to be more quiet and to listen to that veil. Call on your lover that you lost at some point, or your mother or your father. You will feel them, and some people will hear them, right? When we start to look and educate ourselves on the part of us that never dies, that's my favorite part of life. That's what really gets me going on the spiritual path. If you looked at my DVR of what I watch, it's ghost shows, mediums, psychic, I just love to watch the capability of the spiritual soul through the human experience. If I wasn't a minister, I would be a ghost hunter. That's the truth. So, that's really, really my thing. And the more I study it and read on it, the more I'm having accessibility to the truth that we're communing with the other side all of the time. And it's not something that I can teach you guys how to do. It's something that you have to believe in your hearts and start looking with a much broader lens, from a bigger lens. And we get this grander lens of this spiritual life when we get to that higher consciousness and meditation. We take that time for prayer. We listen to our beings when we need to isolate and get quiet and not be busy in the world. We learn the cycles and the systems of this spiritual being, because the greatest part, and I think one of the weirdest parts about coming into this earthly experience, is that we forgot everything that we learned through all of our lifetimes. That's just bizarre, right? But then, if you really think about it, though, would we be as curious if we were just handed all of it, right? In the Bible, it says, become like little children again. Become in that magic. You can't wait. There's today, they get up and they're just stoked about the day because it's just all a surprise. We have no idea. It's just great. We slept well. We're going into the day. We just know it's going to be like a little miracle journey. We're going to run into our little friends. We're going to have... So getting into a place where we look at the sky and we look at the sunrise and we take in the deer and we look at how many deer we just crossed and we count how many, and then we look up the numerology and what those deer mean and how God's communicating with us in all these different cool ways. This is what turns me on spiritually. Because when we believe that everything that's coming across our experience, the good and the bad, is in divine order, unfortunately, the hard stuff is hard. And if you see yourself in a cycle of hard things showing up in your life, get excited about the birth that will be on the other side of all of these deaths that you're facing, which is what I'm also facing right now. So, we are living today in a complex and changing world. The shadow side of ourselves gives us the ability, if we are willing, the ability to bring love towards any and all areas we aren't experiencing it. We are divine beings made in the image of God. Therefore, then, there is turmoil in the world, and we feel it in our energy field. So don't let it run off with you into dark places, but instead extend the essence of love from within you outward. It will quiet the noise of fear and calm you during these changing times. So an eclipse season is always a time of endings. So I found a couple TikToks that cracked me up at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning before I finally fell asleep. I tend to try to find things that make me joyful when I know that I'm kind of in a state of anxiety around just so many choices and so many things that I'm seeing as crossroads in my life right now, and I kind of talked about that last week. And so I just want to share these videos just so we can lift our spirits and see how we're funny as human beings. Read the caption. I'll show it one more time so you can read the caption again. Oh gosh, if you're on the hard side of things right now, astrologically, that's who's laughing right now. Okay, because we're feeling that way. Like, would we really do this again? Really? Here's another one. Wait, here's the next one.
Wait. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Wait.
We'll do it one more time.
Wait. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Wait.
Who's feeling like that right now if we were on the other side and we had to come back? We have to laugh because humor is the language of God, right? When we can find joy even in the face of darkness, we can lift our whole vibrational energy with being able to smile and kind of laugh at how difficult this experience is. And there's kind of a seriousness in these TikToks because I'm noticing so many things coming up like this, that the humor is around how difficult these times are. And obviously with all the wars that are going on in our world right now, how much fear is in people right now and displacement of people, if we're meditating people, there's no way we can just keep ourselves apart from the oneness with our brothers and sisters, even if things are going well in our personal lives. But usually the outer world kind of dictates what's going on in our inner world as well. So the moon in Taurus reminds us that our sense of safety and security comes from a strong sense of self. But that doesn't have to be about winning at all costs or burning the candle at both ends, which may be a temptation as war-like Mars in Scorpio opposes go big Jupiter in Taurus during this time. In your quest to right, wrong, or move forward, make sure you're not becoming the thing you are fighting against. That's a good one for a few people that I'm talking to right now. Make sure you are not becoming the thing you are fighting against. A Taurus moon is always about self-confidence and maintaining strong personal values and acting on them. Remember that big revelations can be exposed during a full moon, which happened last night. And this one might just be about seeing yourself with fresh eyes after an honest look within. Did anybody feel the frequency of the moon last night? All right. Who felt the gloriousness and the happiness of that moon? Who felt the opposite? Okay. Yeah, so it was about 50-50, and this whole chart is really about that. So we have to really be willing to know ourselves in the effort of knowing the workings of the divine universe. One has to hold their own mind and heart in their own relationship and learn to transform the things that are not working. And so I think that's what's being taken to task kind of for us by the divine universe, not just because we've said, yeah, I would like to have multiple things to overcome right now. I just think that there's actually kind of a speedily energy that's saying that the consciousness has to grow now. Like it's just like there's no more putting off tomorrow, what needs to happen today type of thing. And so we're all collectively kind of getting thrown around by all of it. And so the second we can turn and face these things, by the way we always did through our own trauma response or our own issues or our fears of stepping into the very grandeur or the beauty that we actually are, we have to be willing to be spiritually brave and spiritually trust that the universe really and truly doesn't give you more than you can handle, but it certainly can feel like the universe can at times, right? Because it is us that allows the flow of life through our life. We realize that there's a capacity to open up, release, and let go, and step towards the very thing that frightens us. So let's just bring that into mind right now. Something that might be, maybe just has a sense of overwhelm or a sense of I really have to change this, and you've known you've needed to change this for a long time. It might be an attitude, it might be a limitation, it might be an actual outer relationship with a friend or a colleague. It could be a change in work. And kind of visit inside yourself what the trepidation is to healing and changing the circumstance. Right? When we can really look within ourselves and visit the feeling. Is the feeling inside you fear? Is the feeling inside you saying, I'm not good enough? Or is the feeling in you that someone's out to get you? Or you're out to get somebody else, and there's a lack of forgiveness in this moment. Because the people are coming up short in front of each other, right? We're all kind of in it right now, so there's room for error in communication. If we had the answers of how the universe all worked, then the mere wonder of it all would not exist and would not push us forward towards our unfoldment and good. So I'm sure when you think about your life spiritually at 10 and your life spiritually at 20 and your spiritual life at 30, how much you realize that you've cracked open into what the universe, how the universe works, how God works in our lives, right? We don't, like as a kid, we just are God. We're just pure accessibility of God as expression. And then those early wounds of life, of bullying or parents that were unavailable or the first boyfriend or girlfriend, the cut that happened that said, you aren't worthy, you are not good enough, and somehow then we now step into our lives as broken. And then in our 20s, we start to create an outer picture that validates that brokenness in us. So everything, every relationship, every job reflects how broken we are. Because we create outside of ourselves the very thing that we're harboring inside ourselves. And when you really get that, when you really, really, really get that, so when everything's going to hell in a handbasket, we have to always understand that it's being created by us. Even if we're going through a divorce and we had a garbage partner or whatever, our tendency is to want to blame someone else. We want to blame someone else for why the dissolution of the marriage. But in the end, it never works to do this. This will do nothing for your spiritual growth. Every single thing you have to take to task. What did I bring to the situation? What did I create about the situation? Own your own stuff. When you do that, that leads you to enlightenment. When you are honest with self about those cracks and crevices that you're letting lead in your life, and so you blow up at people because you're feeling pushed into your fears, or you can't stop crying all the time because you're just living in your weeping energy, which all of those are okay as long as you're not hurting anybody in that healing process. That's where spiritual counseling is such a beautiful thing. That's where meditating in a group meditation room, where you feel this high energy of your brothers and sisters on the same path, seeking the same understanding of this powerful universe that's honorable and divinely directing every aspect of what's going on through us. So in the last month and a half, something changed in my life. And the universe wasn't putting up with my excuses anymore. It was just an excuse that I was holding in my own mind. It was now or never type of thing. I felt pushed by the universe to do something that I was planning on doing when my last child leaves, which is in 3 years. I thought, then I can make the space to go and step into something that I've known I've needed to do for many years, but my life has been so full, and this will change the trajectory of my life in a very positive way. But I could not step in because I had too much to do, right? An excuse that I was really harboring in my being. So I felt pushed by the universe in a way and felt me digging my heels in as the universe is saying it's now. And we saw in that astrology chart, it said, future things are just going to land in your lap right now and you have to deal with it, right? And it wasn't that the universe is trying to punish me. The universe is saying you can't put off tomorrow what needs to happen now. Right? And so I think that's why a lot of us are being pushed. So I felt myself digging in my heels. And I felt like I was resisting, and everything about the sense of being forced to do this in a different timeline than I had set for myself, I realized how much fear and intimidation I had deep within an unconscious place inside me. By deciding to step in and join the universal force that was propelling me forward into this divine plan territory that was set for a future date, held within it deep spiritual healing lessons for me that were destined for me to heal, so not to carry them within me any longer. When I truly decided to step in and follow this movement forward, just by the merely moving and flowing in through the trepidation, through the fear that I was experiencing, by simply just saying yes to this thing that I was feeling terrified about, all of that fear, all of that trepidation, all of it left me. And something in me changed. A lot of things that I've carried deeply from stuff in my life, breaks in my life, those were no longer there either. And this really had nothing to do with those situations of the cause. But by stepping in and just saying, yes, I'm ready. I'm not ready what's inside me, but I'm stepping in as a soul, grabbing all the lifetimes I've done this, overcome it, been a master and been able to do this. I called on that, Syntysche, all the many names she's had, and said yes. And all of a sudden, these broken pieces of myself fell away, and they have not returned. And I think that's what's being called for many of us right now. So these supercharged lunar events have a way of dropping seemingly far off events directly into our laps to deal with the present. Hence the shadow appearing within us, which creates the sense of overwhelm, fear, and distrust in the process. So the first move to handling this kind of fear, when we're handed something that we aren't believing we have enough to be able to face. When you're feeling fear, first you acknowledge that it's there by placing your non-judgmental attention on it, like shining your flashlight on the monster in your darkened bedroom when you were a kid. Putting the light of attention on fear makes it show up for what it is. Fear really is only a vibration down in the middle of your body, accompanied by a racy, slightly queasy sensation. The second move to handling fear, when you are feeling fear, breathe in the direction of the sensation. Nature has wired us with a sensitive breathing apparatus, which causes us to restrict our breathing when we are scared. So let's just start breathing into that, because I can feel that too as I was just reading that. Let's just get breathing. This is all there is to get back to center. Thank you, Spirit. I give this pressure and this stress to you, Spirit. I know I'm worthy. I can feel this divine guidance. I know I'm loved. I'm ready to let go of thinking something different than that. I know I'm made in the image and likeness of you, so nothing can make me sick, hurt me, or make me afraid, because I am perfect now. So these two moves come together in one simple flow. You feel the fear in your body and breathe to embrace it. It's like you might greet a friend. Like greeting, like hello, and give it a hug. Instead of resisting it, melting in with it. When we greet fear with a hello and embrace it, it disappears. In the 1100s, the mystic Hildegard define prayer as breathing in and breathing out the one breath of the universe. This is listening with our entire being. It speaks to an immersion of attention that all the traditions aspire to, each claiming in its own way that peace resides in this completeness, which arises when our individual sense of being merges with the ongoing stream of being that is the heartbeat of the universe. Whether these moments arise from great stillness or great suffering or great love, they all seem unexpected and seem to depend on our ability to hold nothing back. All the traditions suggest that breathing the one breath is our deepest home. We each have at least 2 moments of such completeness during our first breath and in our last breath. So in our first breath and in our last breath. And what are we going to do all the way in between? So I learned an exercise from a friend who I was sharing that I was being really guided to step into something that I was feeling intimidation about. And this person was using this practice in the morning and said, you should really try it. It really, really works. And so this is the practice. So in the morning when you get up, when you go brush your teeth, you brush it with the opposite hand than the one you usually use. That's how you start. This is before you do your meditation or anything. And then you look in the mirror and you deeply look in the mirror at yourself without all that makeup on and that aging face and all the goodies in that mirror. Tell yourself you love yourself 10 times. It's really emotional. I've been doing it every day. And then after you do it 10 times looking in the mirror, you'll find yourself crying. You'll find that you probably never connected with yourself this way. It's really, and it grows on itself each day. Then after you're done with the 10 times, I love you, and you're really being sincere with it, not being sarcastic and not, And if you had to do sarcastic at first, because it's uncomfortable, that's okay. And then you do 25 breaths like this. And you do it 25 times. And you will get lightheaded, be near something to hold on to, because the first time I did, I literally almost went out flat in my hallway. Because we are in high altitude and all those good things. I cannot tell you, because I have been facing some very stressful things, I walked in there happy to do it, to see. And the stress is gone. It's like the brain is re-triggered and the heart is united and everything seems to be okay all of a sudden. And you can do this multiple times with that breathing during the day, too. You don't have to just do that part. But obviously the brushing the teeth, saying I love you in a mirror, we might not have the opportunity again. But to do those 25 breaths, I don't know which one is the part that's working or if it's all 3 in the exact succession that it is, but it works. So that's the tool I want to leave you with this week. Even if it's good or if it's bad or it's whatever it is, I just share what I need to learn. I see you and me, and I know I'm in you. And I'm grateful. I love you all very much. Thank you.
Well, freely we have received some wonderful insights into how to deal with consciousness, and all of this is very valuable because as we do that, we can watch our lives begin to flower, blossom, and see more harmony in ourselves and everything around us. So for these gifts that we receive through unity, through the guidance we receive in other ways, we can be grateful, and we can keep these things happening if we support them in our lives. So now, those of you that are watching this live stream on screen, these are the different ways that you can tithe to Unity of Boulder. And if you can make a recurring donation, you really will be helping Unity of Boulder, because it gives us an opportunity to know how much money we actually have to spend. And there are things that we really have to do and are waiting for us to do them, but we have to allocate funds accordingly. So even if you only make a recurring donation of $10 a month, that's going to be helpful. So just think about that. And now, with these beautiful thoughts in our hearts and minds, let's bless this gift we're going to make with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. Amen. And we have the beautiful opportunity to listen to Marcy share her music with us once again.
Thank you, Jack. I love the song by the amazing, powerful, beautiful, wondrous, magnificent Ricky Byers. My wings were heavy, I could not fly, haunted by dreams that were meant to come true. Love was there, I could not see it, so the voice of salvation came shining through you. And you said, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be. In the sky of my mind was lightning and thunder. I never could trust it could finally be right. The truth in your eyes said, don't worry, don't wonder. You sang me your song that has shattered the lies. And you said, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be. And like a shepherd, you pulled me through. When my heart was troubled, I didn't know what to do. Your compassion planted a seed in my life. Now the flowers in me. All the time I'm singing. All the time I'm singing. Oh God, God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. If your wings are heavy, you cannot fly, haunted by dreams that were meant to come true. God is right here, you just have to feel it. Let the voice of salvation come shining through you, and just sing, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be, God is all there is, God is all there will ever be. Voices only. God is all there is, God is all there will ever be. ever be. Here we go. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. One more time. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be. God is all there is. God is all there will ever be.
I just want to share one last thing with you. The Samhain that we're going to be putting on this Tuesday, Norma has been doing these for years, and I can't tell you the magical things that happen in it. So the Samhain is when the veil is the thinnest between the spirit world and the earthly world. And you're invited to come. It's at 7 o'clock. It doesn't cost anything. You can make a donation to Unity. And you write letters to your crossed over family members and friends that you've lost even maybe this year or even 50 years ago. It doesn't really matter. And there's a whole ceremony with it, and then you get to burn letters to them to move it into the spirit realm. And if you saw the photographs that are caught at these ceremonies, it's just orbs with like physical faces in them of their loved ones. It's the most amazing experience, and so I highly encourage it. I know it's a little out there, but it's actually a really powerful ceremony to bring healing and to remember that we actually have constant communication because we are souls first, and souls are always communing.
It's not out there for the Native American Indians who were on this continent first.
Okay.
So,
Well said, Mom. Love it.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, you can't say that.
All right, so we have prayer partners available to you, and they're standing up over here with those beautiful white sashes. If you're facing a challenge or even a joy, you can just stay seated in your seat, and they will take you down to the beautiful meditation room and pray with you. And then after the service, I will be holding a discussion in a circle in the back of the room if you want to talk further for about 20 minutes about this talk, or you have any questions about what unity is and what unity is not, or whatever. So it'll be back here in about 5 minutes, and we're going to close with "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Let's all stand.
As we sing this, let us just see the light of illumined awareness moving in the Middle East through the minds and hearts of all the people involved in the decisions being made there, and also in the Ukraine and Russia and places throughout the world, wherever there is this fear and this ongoing conflict. Let it be healed as we sing, "Let there be peace on earth."
Venezuela as well, she was just saying, please. Okay. All right.
With God as creator.
this room right after this service. Thank you. See you Tuesday.